You are riding a skateboard and going to attempt to jump your board down a flight of steps. The drop of the steps are 2.5 meters, and the distance from where you jump to the end of the steps is 4 meters. How fast do you have to be going on your skateboard in order to clear the steps safely and land on the ground below? Our picture is drawn. There's you on a skateboard. Your velocity going off of the steps is unknown. That's what we're trying to find. We do know that we have to travel a horizontal distance of 4 meters. We know that our drop is going to be 2.5 meters. And of course, every projectile has an acceleration down negative 9.8 meters per second squared. So from here, what we're going to be able to do is pull our numbers out and then proceed to solve the problem. So first thing, all of our black numbers are going in the left and right direction. We know our displacement is 4 meters. And we know our velocity is what we're trying to find. Up and down, I know that I'm going to have a drop of 2.5 meters. So that's negative 2.5 meters in the y direction. Our initial velocity is 0 because we're skating horizontally. And our acceleration is negative 9.8 meters per second squared. In order to solve for velocity, I would need time, but I don't have time. However, I could solve for it in the y direction because I do have enough information there. So that's what we're going to do. In the y direction, I'll solve for time, which means I'm going to pick the equation that does not have final velocity in it, which would be our third equation, d equals v naught t plus 1/2 a t squared. V naught is 0, which means this v naught t term is going to go away, making our math a little bit easier. D equals 1/2 a t squared. To get rid of the half, I'm going to multiply by 2. That's why I have 2 on the left side, and I'm going to divide by a, so that's going to be in the denominator, leaving t squared by itself on the right. I don't want t squared though, I just want t, so I'm going to do the square root in order to get rid of the squared. Plugging in my numbers, 2 times d, which is negative 2.5, all over the acceleration, negative 9.8 meters per second squared. And all that is under the square root symbol to give me time. I plug that into my calculator, and what I get is 0.714 seconds for time. Because that's the time in the y direction, it's also the time in the x direction. So I can write that in here. And now I can solve for velocity. Motion in the left and right direction for projectile motion is constant velocity motion. So we can use our constant velocity equation, d equals v times t. We're going to rearrange this for velocity. So I have to divide time over, means d over t equals velocity. The displacement is 4 meters, and the time is 0.714 seconds. And when I plug that into my calculator, I find a velocity of 5.6 meters per second in order to be fast enough to clear the steps and land safely.